Right, hello everyone. Today we're going to be trying it again. uh, I was asleep and the game crashed, so the stream was doing nothing for a few hours. But I'm hoping I'll be able to just load up the last save we made and set off from there. And that will, yeah, be a bit better, you know? Hopefully it won't crash this time. Or maybe... I really need to go check the VOD actually, because I'm not sure what actually went wrong. Maybe it did get to the edge or something. Or it just reached a limit and crashed automatically. Whatever happened, we'll find out. We'll load this up and we'll let the journey continue, I guess. You know? Man, it already takes so long to load the save, it's not responding. Okay. Man, it really is taking a while to load. This is kind of concerning. Thing is, you are really not supposed to travel this far in this game. Like, I don't think it was ever intended. Yep, gotta connect up the hacked keyboard again. Oh, malfunctioned. Cave Johnson asks, has the fan belt come off the engine yet? No. Though it's probably due for an oil change at this point. Yeah, we got those again. And I can open the window for you guys once more. Give it a nice backdrop. It's taken like... It's been loading for like... Oh, wait, there we go. Got it. Man, we're so high up, it's hard to tell that we're even falling, you know? Okay, right. Cheats on. This is 1,400... Wait, no, it's 14,252. And off we go again. Nice. I don't think it'll take as long this time, so I'll hopefully be on for a bit more. I mean, until we reach the end, since we won't have to sleep this time round. But yeah, Kev Johnson, how are you going? Hope you had a good rest of your day. it's, it's so embarrassing how I think the game crashed right after I went to sleep last time, and now the stream is half of half nothing. Just the be right back screen. But we will do this. Let's mess around with the height a bit since that's always fun. And we can do that without really messing things up. Interesting how the water towers don't show up on the beacons. Maybe it's only buildings that spawn stuff at them. Who knows though? The POK asks, "What is going on?" This is something I started yesterday. What we're trying to do is we're trying to find the edge of the world. So I've opened up the development settings, and I've enabled flying, and I've put a clamp on the keyboard to hold down the buttons, so it does it automatically. And you can see we are 14,335 kilometers in so far. The poles and the words point out a building. Toroni, or Toroni, however you want to say it, is a watchtower. You can see that. Well, we're moving so fast it's hard to see. Old house is an old house. And then you've got old petrol station and stuff like that. So each one of these is some kind of building. That's what it means. And I actually started this yesterday, but I was trying to leave it running overnight, but the game crashed. So I had to end that stream. I'm trying to get the yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. This game is Hungarian. You know, we can open up. Yep, they are Hungarian. Yeah, so that means tower. You learned that from Age of Empires. Google Translate just has Hungarian, so I guess. Yeah. Yeah, there's an interesting mix. Because they are bilingual, the devs of this game, so they speak English as well, and so some of it's in English. pretty neat how you can just zoom across the landscape like this. Yeah, we're currently traveling at around 2,000 kilometers an hour. And I'm not sure where the game crashed last time because I was asleep, but I think it was around 16,000 or something total distance. I think someone sent a chat message. You know, I'll open the VOD up now, actually. We'll do some forensic analysis. Right, hang on, where did it crash? It looks like there was little yeah, it crashed around 16,000. Someone said save. Oh. The devs at some point said that if you go 40,000 kilometers in a straight line, you'll get back to your home. But nobody tested that. Hmm. I think someone might have made a clip, actually. Oh. Okay, I'm getting close. Getting close to the point where it crashed. In the video, I mean. Yep, it crashed at 16,905. Man, that was actually quite a bad crash, actually. It closed by itself. Well, we'll be there in like an hour or so. We'll be able to double check. Man, I missed out on so much good conversation while I was asleep. Ah, well. Well, hope everyone's been going well. If anyone's even on at the moment. Cave Johnson says a question mark. Sorry, what was that question mark about? Forgot what I said. Something I've noticed is that the terrain doesn't seem to be like corrupting or anything. It hasn't broken. It all looks still, yeah, like perfectly passable, like something you'd see around the start of the map. So I'm thinking maybe maybe it won't break, or maybe it'll just be sudden instead of gradual. If it does. Hmm. Seems to be mostly grass biome now. Not very many mesas. You can see a few like off in the distance. But yeah, there's not much desert. This is all stuff I missed, by the way, since I was asleep while I was doing this. One sec. All right. And yeah, I did not get a good night's sleep for some reason. Yeah, have we broken the mesa generation at this point? What about small rocks? Maybe the game's just painted this as a grass biome for some reason. No, there's still small rocks. And it's one huge grass biome. Oh, no. There are maces again. We did not break the terrain generation just yet. Do I know if there is an edge of the world? Not beyond rumors. So yeah, there might not be. Plan is to just go until something breaks, really. Oop. Time to make another save. The saves take like 3 minutes to load at this point. But I'm not sure how long to actually make one. Guess we'll see. Hmm. I think the hotkey sort of thing was messing with the... Oh. It's made one without a file name. Weird. Okay, there we go. Oh, did I turn? How did that? Oh, I pushed backspace by accident. That disables some of the user interface. Initial low, hello, welcome to the stream. It's attempt number 2. Well, rather a continuation of the first one, really. It crashed at around 16,005 kilometers last time, so we'll be getting close to that soon. We'll see if it crashes again. Leper AK, thank you for the subscription. 30 months. Has it really been that long? Yeah, that really means a lot to me. May have missed a month or two. I mean, you've still got your first badge there. I think you were my first subscriber. Always great to have you around. Okay. This is absolutely riveting gameplay, isn't it? I'm quite excited to see what'll happen. We'll make a save just before we get to that point, then we'll you know, try some things out. If it crashes again, we'll should have added a Zen tag. Maybe. can always see like huge mountain ranges in the distance. Then it seems like they turn out not to be that big. Let's decrease altitude a bit. Oh. I'm still excited about this. I feel like it's going to be interesting. You know what I should check actually? Yeah, there are a lot of buildings away from the road. I kind of thought they'd start, like, decreasing, but it seems like they haven't really. At least not terribly noticeably. And I should check if interactions are bugged yet. Not in a grass biome, though. I'd never see anything. You imagine the world to basically just be a relatively narrow strip centered on the road? Yeah. I was kind of assuming that too, though we did know it was a square with the road just covering a short bit of that. Cave Johnson, what do you think will happen eventually? Do you reckon the world will just end? Will it loop? Looping seems to be a pretty common suggestion. Game crash, yeah. That could be a thing as well. It has crashed a few times already, but I get the feeling those were due to other factors. It's funny how when you're up here it looks like there's so many buildings, but at the same time they're all like kilometers apart. Suddenly it will just crash and it will keep crashing every time you reload. Guess we'll find out soon. In like half an hour, actually. According to the VOD, last time it crashed at 16,005, I think. So we shall see. Hmm. First lava lamp is doing something odd. There's a weird bubble that's stuck at the top there. Switch it off and see if it pops. Starting to get close. Close to the point where it crashed last time. And by close, I mean we're still 400 kilometers away. But that's not too long. Won't take too long to travel, I mean. Been listening to a single song on loop a lot this evening. Someone used it as a loading screen. Interesting. Oh, there's a plane flying overhead. Huh. Can't see it on video, but yeah, it's kind of uncommon here. Thanks for the link, which I cannot click because the game's running. I'll check it out after the stream. If I remember. I probably won't, but I'll do my best. You sure the game will crash soon? True. In like 300 kilometers. Most likely. What I'll do is I'll stop just before it crashed last time, and then I'll try driving or walking. Yeah, it's warming up. The one on the end is doing that too, actually. One sec. Oh no, the little lava lamp is starting to starting to die, I think. Rip. Maybe if I turn it on again. You'd love to get a lava lamp, but it'd probably be too much of a fire hazard. They don't really get hot enough for that. I mean, they get hot to the touch, but they can't ignite paper. Getting very close. Ground's gone flat again. Okay, we're getting close. Probably nearly time to save again. Terrain looks a bit different. Though I have moved the mouse around a bit, so we've been flying in a different sort of angle. So there are those mountains over there. Is it grass biome? Yeah, it's a grass biome, I reckon. No, not quite actually. You know what we'll do? Time to check the interaction bugs. I mean, check for them. Nope, still looks alright. Okay, I think we're still good for now. This really is a pretty interesting building, this one. You hardly ever see this. Oh. And we were heading right past it. And around this direction. Yep, this looks right. There are the mountains. Small desert biome here. Insanity, hello, welcome to the stream. Probably time to save. This is the long drive. I've just got a whole bunch of cheats switched on and development stuff. Okay, this was the point where it crashed before, and it's fine. But it is starting to lag a bit. Gentleman Lucifer, hello. Welcome back. Hope you're going well. And yeah, it looks like this is gonna keep going. Alright, I'll set it up to be automatic again. Once more, we have some big mountains. Lava lamps look like a view of the sky blends in so good. Yeah, it does blend together well. You can actually see them distorting that cloud behind them. Not sure if it's just me, but it does look like things are flickering quite a bit now. Gentleman Lucifer says, finishing work at 9 and destroying a whole pizza afterwards will not slow me down to say hi. Infinity says, so I don't get the game. What do you mean you don't get it? This isn't what you're supposed to do in this game, by the way. I'm playing it very wrong at the moment. Oh, you bought the game. Nice. Always good to support indie developers. That also means you'll get the update that's coming out in September. Which might invalidate the results of this entire test. Because they're changing the terrain generation. If only there was a way to boost speed. $2,000 kilometers an hour looks more like 2. I mean, that's just because we're so high up. When we get close to the ground, you can see how quick it really is. And speeds always feel slower in games anyways, you know? A Toroni is a watchtower, and a yellow food cut is a diner. A Benzinkut is a petrol station. The towers are the most common buildings, by the looks of things. I'm trying to see what's at the edge of the map, or if there even is an edge at the map. Ages ago, people thought, well, still think actually, that the map is 40,000 square kilometers. It's probably like Minecraft, just infinity. Maybe. But I feel like in this game, there's a chance that it'll break down at some point, the terrain generation. You know how Minecraft used to have the Farlands? Gentleman Lucifer says, pick a number, any number, let's see what's possible. You're supposed to pick the number. My PC might explode, I doubt that. Right. I'll go with page 78. Part 3. Web Mania. Where did the web come from? The World Wide Web was invented in 1989 at the European Particle Physics Lab in Geneva, Switzerland. Page 78 of The Internet for Dummies. An unlikely spot for a revolution in computing. The inventor is a British researcher named Tim Berners-Lee, who is now the director of the World Wide Web Consortium in Cambridge, Massachusetts, the organization that sets standards and loosely oversees the development of the web. Tim is terrifically smart and hardworking, and is the nicest guy you would ever want to meet. Margie met him through Sunday school. Is that wholesome or what? Tim invented HTTP, Hypertext Transport Protocol, the way web browsers communicate with web servers, HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, the language which web pages are written, and URLs, Uniform Resource Locators, the codes used to identify web pages and most other information on the net. He envisioned the web as a way for everyone to both publish and read information. Early web browsers had editors that let you create web pages almost as easily as you could read them. For more information about the development of the web and the work of the World Wide Web Consortium, visit its website at www.w3.org. Essentials of Hypertext Thought. If you can get a handle on the fundamental structure of the web, you can use it better and think about all the other ways it can be used. Hypertext is a way of connecting information in ways that make it easy to find, in theory. Traditional libraries, both the kinds with books and the kinds in computers, organize information in an arbitrary way, such as alphabetical order or the Dewey Decimal System. This order reflects nothing about the relationships among different pieces of information. It just reflects the limits of manual indexing. In the world of hypertext, information is organized in relationship to other information. The relationships begin between different pieces of information. The relationships between different pieces of information are, in fact, much more valuable than the pieces themselves. Oh, man. Hypertext can arrange the same set of information in multiple ways at the same time. A book in a conventional library can be only on one shelf at a time. A book about mental health, for example, is shelved under medicine or psychology, but not both places at once. With hypertext, it's no problem to have links to the same document from both medical topics and psychological topics. Suppose that you're interested in what influenced a particular historical person. Start by looking at the basic biographical information, where and when they were born, the names of the parents, their religion, and other basic stuff like that. Then you can expand on each fact by finding out what else was happening in that time in that part of the world, what was happening in other parts of the world, and what influence their religion may have had on them. You draw a picture by pulling together all these aspects and understanding of their connections, a picture that's hard to draw from just lists of names and dates. That is page 78 of The Internet for Dummies. Yes, I think that was you, Penguins. You made me read the appendix of this book. Someone also made me read the end-user license agreement for the CD that's included. What's the appendix? The appendix is the bit at the end of the book, which contains like references, so you can look through the appendix and find something. And yeah, it's basically extra information. 5k points and read a letter chapter of the Oxford Dictionary. People would just pick the longest one. Also, the best I can do is the Macquarie English Little Dictionary. I don't have an Oxford one. Right, we're at 1,600. No, why do I keep messing that up? It's 16,352. We are not there yet, and we don't even know where there is. This is basically just part 2 because the game crashed. We haven't actually restarted it all back. Last time the game crashed while I was asleep at like 16,000, but we've passed that now with no issues, so I don't know what's going on. No autosave. We do have manual saves, which I've been making use of. Penguins wants a tech talk? Ooh, let me find some tech. Heather Maloon asks, did we find the end yet? Insanity has done a sound alert, but I have the desktop audio turned off to mute the game's wind audio. Sorry about that. Don't worry, I'll refund you for that. The challenge after this, how fast can I drive this distance? Oh, that would take forever. Penguins, you're in luck. Yeah, I know. Now. How fast can you reach insanity in the long drive? Penguins, I've got something very, very cool to show you. Hang on, let me just close this. I'm worried about that lava lamp. It's not looking healthy. Oop. This is the Archos AV400 pocket video recorder. Look at this thing. It's like an iPod, but better. And it can play DVD quality video off its hard drive. Funniest thing about this is it's not even a camera. It's just a video player and recorder. You have to connect it to something in order to record video. Has a built-in speaker, a very interesting control layout, even a compact flash card so you can import photos from your digital camera. Very nice. I probably got it for $2 on eBay. You're a bit off with that figure. I paid 100 Australian dollars for this. It did come with the original box and accessories though. And I only really wanted one because I remembered having one as a child. That was a good memory. I loved this thing, and still do. That is a lot for me, but I was looking for one of these things forever. Because they never really were that popular. But it comes with a beautiful little pouch with the Archos branding on it. And it's really well made. It's a lovely piece of vintage technology. Oh, childhood memories over everything. Yeah. I wasn't actually into that, into technology much as a kid. But I am now, and I'm remembering all these things. For a while, we had a blue iMac, like the one of the OG ones. That we did find on the side of the road and just take home, because that was the point where everyone was throwing them away. And that was my computer for a little while. Turret House is the bunker, and Old Cabin is a, well, it's just cabin, but it's a rare building that only spawns far away from the road. Penguins always wanted a big track when they were a kid. Looks so cool. Sadly, never had one though. But yeah, that thing. It connects over USB, so you can plug it into a modern computer. No special drivers needed. Take that, Apple. It plays MP3s. It can do FM radio. You can connect it to a set-top box and record live television. Okay, next time we come across one of these, I'll show you what they are. So this is a mid-sized petrol station, as you can see. One of those. Kind of trying to make sure the Z-axis stays a bit consistent. The bunker is the building with the sliding doors, and the cabin, I'll show you the cabin. We stopped at one earlier, actually. Gentleman Lucifer says that you need to get the fish nightlight as a kid. Fascinating, but it's loud. Oh yeah, that was kind of viral for a while. It'll take a lot of effort, but I wonder how many different or same things you'd see if you've jotted them down as we flew. We've seen every building there is at this point. Why is it called a bunker? Because in the dev's other game, that's where that building originally came from. And it's a bunker in that game. Oh, there's a cabin. Let's have a look at it. I stopped at one earlier, actually, to check the interactions. To see if it was bugged or not. But that's what it looks like. Tiny little building. That's a bus stop. That is a garage. That is a large petrol station. Wonder how many of each we'd see. Too many to count. The towers do seem to be the most common, though. Where is the diner? The diner is... I don't see any around, actually. Oh, yeah, there's one up ahead. Yellow food cut. That's a diner. Towers are just useless. They're part of the decoration, you know? And if you add a fuel, maybe you can find a tiny bit there to just keep you going. Yep, that's a diner. Hasn't loaded in yet, but we'll see. But yeah, only places that can spawn items show up on this. So you'll see water towers, but they won't be pointed out with these giant beacons. Whoops. I keep trying to keep the Z-axis kind of consistent, but it kind of wobbles around a bit, you know, when I move the mouse. Vimzu is the bridge building. And Benzinkut 01 is one of the other petrol stations. Let's decrease altitude a bit. Look, I think that one spawned inside. Yeah, I think that one spawned inside the thing there. The giant rock. Penguin says, should I apply to drive trucks for Tanner's Wines? Wonder how much cargo I would have left when it gets there. Ah, yes, this fell off. I I got held up by some roadmen, that's why there's not as much as I let out with. Oh man. Oh, gotta adjust this again. Keep screwing up the Z-axis for some reason. Oh, time for another save too. For some reason it won't save. Fixed it. It's because the keys were being held down still. Gotta remember that. It won't save if the keys are being held down. Yeah, we're still going strong. That's pretty wild, actually. Oh, it's crashed again. This time at 17,253. Oh, is it coming back? Look, it came back. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Penguin says, talk to us or I'll make you do another reading. So yeah, it just nearly crashed again. Something lagged the game out. I wonder why. Maybe we got too close to a building that was loading something in? Obak says, I remember when I started making you write down this side of Treasure Island, but I never actually wrote it. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, look at that. The ground's glitching. What? Look at this. That's new. When we're down here, it's fine. But when we go up, it's still kind of doing it, but... Yeah, look at that. The terrain is starting to break down. There's cracks appearing in reality. And it's kind of fixing itself. Was it just that spot? Does the load fix it? It seems to have fixed itself. Was it like a temporary graphical glitch or something? So I messed up, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. I got spun around somehow. But yeah, it's gone. It was glitching out and now it's fixed itself. Oh, is this another crash? I think the game's becoming quite unstable. But we're back again. Looks like every now and then it just has a lag spike. Penguins wants us to save. Yeah, good idea. Okay, this is getting interesting now. It's warned us enough, yep. That seemed to have gone back to normal. Wonder what that was. Hmm. Yeah, it's gone back to normal now. Cozy says, I think I'm a little confused. Just a little? Oh, it's glitching again. Or at least it was over there. Towards the side. I think it's... Yeah, stopped it. Wonder if that's gonna, like, set in permanently as we keep going. Hmm. Page 7 of the Internet for Dummies. Alright, let's do it. About the authors. Jeff Ebbs is a widely recognised authority on the internet in Australia. He got his first taste of working online while in Alice Springs in the late 1980s. Back then, in the dark ages of the internet, he connected personal computers from Tennant Creek to Alice Springs via Telstra's X 2.5 network. In his spare time, he submitted articles to Sydney newspapers via the net. Jeff's background spans both computers and media work. As a commercial programmer, he cut his technology teeth on computers that used punch cards, and his first job was replacing these dinosaurs with online terminals. He is the author of the Australian Internet Book and editor of the Australian edition of Whole Internet Guide. He has edited a number of net-related magazines and in 1994 produced a television show, The Big Bite, which introduced many people to the internet for the first time. Until working on this edition of the Internet for Dummies, Jeff has been concentrating on software development. John R. Levine was a member of a computer club in high school, before high school students or even high schools had computers, where he met Theodore H. Nelson, the author of Computer Dream Machines and the inventor of hypertext, who reminded us that computers should not be taken seriously and that everyone should understand and use them. John wrote his first program in 1967 on an IBM 1130, a computer somewhat less powerful than your typical modern digital wristwatch, only more difficult to use. He became an official system administrator of a networked computer at Yale in 1975. He began working part-time for a computer company, of course, in 1977, and has been out of the computer and network business ever since. He got his company on Usenet, the net's worldwide bulletin board system, early enough that it appears in a 1982 Byte magazine article on a map of Usenet, which was then so small that the map fit on half a page. Although John used to spend most of his time writing software, now he mostly writes books. Because it's more fun, and he can do so at home in the tiny village of Trumansburg, New York, where he is the sewer commissioner. Guided tours, free samples. And play with his small daughter when he's supposed to be writing. John also does a fair amount of public speaking. See iecc.com/John L to see where he'll be. He holds a BA and a PhD in computer science from the Yale University, but please don't hold that against him. Interesting. Want to see if his website's still up? Normally I like to open the websites I find in this book, but since we've got the game running by itself, and it's difficult to pause at the moment, I'd rather leave it. Yeah, that was an interesting page. We don't usually get ones that early on in the book, so good choice, Penguins. Okay. Penguin says, well, now AI has gotten so good that I even have a theme tune for my channel made by AI. Do you think AI will take over the world, and if so, when? I don't think AI itself will take over the world. I think like corporations and rich people using AI to replace human like programmers and writers and stuff and artists will maybe make things a bit more boring and sanitized, something like that. I haven't thought about it too much really. But think about it, if you're a giant company, are you gonna pay someone to make some like art, or like are you gonna buy a stock photo taken by a photographer when you can just have an AI make it? And I think, yeah, that's kind of not great since I feel like AI should be doing all the menial jobs so humans can do creative things. I said attempt number 2, but it's more like part 2 cozy cozy because the game crashed the first time, but I had a save, so I reloaded from that save. Penguin says, true, yeah, like I got AI to make a theme tune for £10 a month subscription to the AI site, yeah. I mean, we're already seeing a lot of social media platforms are just chatbots talking to each other. Like, if you've glanced at Twitter recently, I'm not sure why you would, but if you have, you'll see the my OnlyFans in bio, uh, that sort of thing, like in just being spammed in response to everything on that site. Yeah, dead internet theory. That's what it's called. Yo, but that's how it sort of starts. Then before you know it, the robot's doing art and music and doing the dishes, and now you're homeless because you can't find a job. Yeah. There are some good things that AI is doing, though. It allows us to do neat stuff with identifying like germs and viruses and stuff like that, and help make better cures for those things. So I reckon that's a good thing. It doesn't burn your toast. Hmm. That's interesting, actually. Does anyone ever burn their toast much anymore? It's not like you're holding it on a stick over a fire. My electric toaster from the 1970s has never burned a piece of toast in the time I've owned it. Man, I guess if you've like bought a new toaster and you're like fiddling with the settings, or you've got a bread that's a different thickness. Penguin still uses a grill most of the time. Alex says that kind of stuff is good, and when you can use it for checking language on the fly stuff is good. What's not good is using it for revenge stuff. Oh yeah, I've heard about that too, like a deep fake technology that really has some less than wholesome implications, we'll say. My grandfather used to burn toast so much every day. My mum would wake up to the sound of scraping it off every morning. Don't you like find a setting on your toaster and then leave it on that forever? It was a shitty toaster. I mean, that's what happens if you get the like $10 supermarket toaster. What you do is you either get a second-hand one that's decent, or you get a new mid-tier to expensive one, and you'll like never have problems. I really love vintage toasters for some reason. Oh yeah, there's also like really, really ancient electric toasters. I had one for a while, where they don't even have a timer. You have to watch it. Those kind of suck. Those are fire hazards and electrocution hazards. Just... There are 3 toasters in this house, I've realized. All from different points in history. Like every person uses a different toaster in this house. We've got the 1970s one. We've got the early 2000s one, and we've got the modern one. The early 2000s one is quite possibly the strangest, actually. Although they're all kind of unique. The early 2000s one has an LCD display on it for setting uh, the level, you know? It's wild. And it works no better than a regular toaster, but it's got an LCD display on it, so it must be cooler. Obex says we have one of those we have one of those old 4-piece over the oven gas types. Those are, yeah. I actually haven't used a gas stove in like must have been 5 years now. Wait, no, I used one at my grandparents' place around Christmas. But I haven't like lived in a house with a gas stove for ages. It's funny because we have gas hot water, but an electric stove. Like says, it's all we use. Gas is just easier for us. Fair enough. Gas stove, gas fire and water heater, an electric car. Makes sense. Makes sense. You need to get an LPG car, and then you can run that on gas as well. No, I didn't, penguins. I personally try not to engage with AI generated content much, but I'd be willing to give it a listen. Not on stream though, since game is running and I can't really pause it and open up stuff easily while it's running in this manner. Our neighbor has one, an old Mitsubishi Ute. Yeah, LPG powered cars used to be huge here. Like you could get the government would give you money if you converted your car to run on LPG. But then guess what happened? The price of LPG went up because there were more cars using it. So LPG cars became less popular. How funny is that? But yeah, for a while, all of the like most of the taxis in the country were running on LPG. Now they're all hybrids for the most part. We're about to hit 18,000. You put it in my Discord under music. I forgot we have a channel for that. There's another thing about AI. Who's to say people won't use AI to generate like every possible piece of music and then copyright them all? I feel like if we're gonna have AI creating stuff, it's got to be automatically public domain to reduce that sort of abuse of the system. Yeah, including wind sounds. Those aren't even AI generated. That's someone just being an asshole. AI is really opening the floodgates for that kind of yeah, copyright system abuse. Someone did that, but they made them royalty free, so people can't do that. I have never heard of that. I don't think that's happened. Disney strikes white noise on YouTube. Yeah, I think from what I heard, that was a bug in the YouTube system, and they ended up fixing it. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they're still doing that because they're scummy as hell. Next time it's windy, do you want me to shove a microphone outside so I can get wind audio for me to play in the background? Actually, we were looking for YouTube. We were looking on YouTube for royalty-free airplane noises, and I couldn't find any that were definitely for sure royalty-free, so I didn't end up playing anything. But it would have been fun. Apparently, AI music can't be copyrighted anyway. That's good. That sounds like a scam, Penguins. Personally, I think nothing created by an AI should have any sort of copyright. It should just automatically be public domain. But say you have AI create a song and then you get a real band to perform it, then that band owns that specific recording of the song that they made, but they don't own the original thing created by the AI. That's still public domain. Have a look on the BBC website. They have tons of sounds, all copyright free. Just to be very specific on which site, yeah. I think there was a case a while ago where someone tried to get copyright on an AI comic book, but it was revoked once the organization realized it was AI. Like they applied for it and they got it, but then it was revoked once the government organization realized it was AI generated, something like that. I remember that being a big thing for a while. That's funny, all back. I wouldn't be surprised if this Internet for Dummies book includes that exact joke in there somewhere. How'd they know if there's something AI or not? That's also a good question. It can't do it can't do that sort of thing very well yet, but it will eventually. I feel like maybe AI generating systems would have to be required to have a watermark in some way or metadata. That'd make sense. Oh, ground spazzing out again. It's happening more and more often the further we go. So it seems to go away sometimes. Yeah, true. That's something I heard about all back. Here's a pro tip for committing crimes. Wear some rubber fingers on your hands, like extra fingers. So then you can just say, "Oh, that's not me. That's AI generated. Look at the hands. There's too many fingers." Exactly. Remember the Willy Wonka experience with the guy who just got ChatGPT to make him a script and then hired people to act it out, and it was just total nonsense. And then he tried to run with the money. Yep. It was very funny though. There were some great memes about that. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, who's using Twitter anymore? I'm actually camping the at dial-up dude username on Twitter just in case. But I think there's a decent chance that platform goes bankrupt in the near future because they've never been profitable, and nowadays they're making even less money. What do you think they'll move to next? I don't know. I'm hoping MySpace takes the opportunity to make a comeback. Yeah. I mean, Twitter's strange because I never posted anything on there, but I was camping my username and still am. I still have that account. And if I saw something like linked to Twitter, I'd I'd click on it and see what it was. But I don't really do that anymore. I think it's just become even worse than it used to be, and most people are just giving up on it entirely. I mean, it is Twit. You're right. That's a bit of a hint, isn't it? Twatter. More like this. And if only there was a way to enable like map mode. I wonder if there is an edge to this world. It is supposed to loop at the edges. I mean, that's what some people say. It'd be so funny if I find the end of the road somehow. That would be wild. Considering we're almost 4 times past the end. Roman says, I think it either loops or just keeps randomly generating forever. I think the terrain is eventually going to bug out entirely. Because you could all already see there's like... Earlier there were cracks in the ground. were glitching everywhere. Is it the end, or is it like the world and you go back to the start again? I feel like it's flat. I don't think it would make sense for this to be a sphere in the game. Or then maybe they've set it up so like you teleport to the other side as a form of looping. Do we need a poll? Maybe. And yeah, there is a way to do that. Just do a poll. But then again, the polls only last for like 30 minutes. And there's a lot more than 30 minutes left to go. 70,000 people are going to see Taylor Swift in London. That's an insane amount of people. Every time I've listened to a Taylor Swift song, it's been against my will. Yeah. That's like 700,000 people. Well, like says there's like 3 songs by her I enjoy, and some of them are early but not new. Parla loves them though, so I suffer through for them. Fair enough. But I remember seeing a diagram of how much emissions her private jet produces. And how she says, oh, yeah, you've got to take personal responsibility for climate change. It's all of our fault. Yeah, but it's your fault particularly more than the average person. Yeah. Apparently her fans are absolutely rabid. Like, they're really mean to people who have even the most minute criticism of her. BP invented that, your footprint thing, yeah. It's just a way to shift the blame. Look at that, dust storm. Haven't seen many of those around. You know what would happen if you took every car and lorry off the world? I don't think I mean, wouldn't make. I don't know actually. I feel like it wouldn't make too much of a difference considering there's a lot of stuff that still produces carbon. Did you know all of the gas lanterns and stuff in the world produce as much emissions as the entire commercial aviation industry every year? That's because there are places in the world that still don't have electric light, so they're relying on gas lanterns and stuff. It would change nothing. The big issue is tankers and stuff. Yeah, boats and planes and things. Planes are like really, really bad, especially because they put the emissions right into the atmosphere without giving them a chance to be absorbed by plants and stuff. Oh wow, look at the ground. That's wild. When you get down close, it looks okay. But from up here, it's really spazzing out. Although it's stopped now. Wonder if it's only certain biomes doing that. It's just a smoke screen. People here tried to claim that cows produce more CO2 than cars. So a farmer stood up and said, "Right, you go home and sleep in your garage with your car on. I'll sleep with my cow. Whoever's alive calls the other." I mean, to be fair, it depends on the car and the cow. Like, I'd happily sleep in a garage with an electric car switched on. But it's kind of a loophole in that argument. But yeah, like anything else, no. But yeah, I feel like electric cars are going to be far more common in the future for city driving and short distances and such. But you know what would be even better than that? Decent public transport. There are a lot of people in the world who don't even need to own a car, or don't even want to. They just own one because they can't ride their bike or take the bus because the infrastructure isn't there. Some people say that the batteries in the electric cars cause more harm to the environment. Not if we can recycle them, which we definitely can. But yeah, people who say, "Oh, your electric car still has to have materials mined and has to be constructed and all that," they're forgetting something. Petrol cars and every car has to have the materials mined and it has to be constructed. But the thing is, if you have a fossil fueled vehicle, then you have to keep mining out the materials to fuel it. Whereas if you have an electric vehicle, you just need the investment of mining out the materials to build it, and then it can be powered from renewable resources. Something I've heard of in concern to electric cars though is longevity and how long the batteries will last. That is something I'm a bit worried about. And of course the whole heated seats subscription side of things. Yeah. Increasing air quality in cities is, yeah, definitely a good thing. And that can be done by, yeah, more green spaces, better public transportation, that sort of thing. One thing that would be kind of cool is too, it is hydrogen engine, if it works and if they can figure out a way of storing and transporting it safely. You can actually buy hydrogen powered cars now, but the fuel is super expensive. But yeah, who knows? Maybe that'll be something in the future. Yeah, it's hard to make, it's hard to transport, and it's hard to store. Worked really well till it ran out of battery after 4 hours, then it had to be charged for 8 hours by a diesel generator. Yeah. You know what's worse than cow feces, Rootman? Microplastics. Like they're literally everywhere now. There's not a single place on the earth that doesn't have bits of plastic in it, including your body. That's a nice little existential crisis. And I know there's the plastic eating bacteria or whatever, but what happens once they've eaten all of the plastic? Think about it. If your body is filled with microplastics, so you put some plastic eating bacteria in there. They eat all the plastics. But what if they evolve to start eating you after they've eaten all the plastics? You have to make sure that doesn't happen. You'd also have to make sure it doesn't become the old lady who swallowed the fly situation where you have to keep adding more bacteria and stuff to eat the other bacteria. Yeah. My concern about microplastics is like respiratory stuff. Like with polyester and things. They do die once there's no more to eat. Yeah, but what about like so say you have a whole bunch of plastic eating microbes inside of you, and then they've eaten all of the plastic, but just like maybe just a tiny fraction of them can eat a certain part of your flesh to survive. Now only the ones that eat flesh to survive live, because all the other ones that just eat plastic are dead. So now those ones are gonna replicate exponentially. It could also be like a when you have a rabbit problem on your farm, so you release some foxes, and then just make everything worse. Yes, it is the long drive, Koisu 12. Just with a whole bunch of cheats switched on. Oh yeah, that was Mao, wasn't it? All back. That was a great moment in stupidity. There's other situations like that as well. Not coming to mind though. I mean, here in Australia we have the classic emu war, which was a massive failure, and that's probably a good thing. Pretty wild. Oh yeah, just remembered something. This is not really the same, but similar. Uh, you've all heard of the Cobra effect, right? Where they put a bounty on cobras, so people started breeding cobras. And then they took the bounty away, and then everyone just released the cobras they'd been breeding, and then there were more cobras than ever before. History's weird, and we never seem to learn. Actually, someone drew a connection between the Cobra thing and YouTube trying to punish ad block. Because think about it, people are using ad block on your website. You don't want people to use ad block, so you make it so people can't access your website with ad block. Now all of a sudden, people who didn't know about ad block before know about it, and now even more people are using ad block. Yeah. Here in Australia, we have a big problem with well, everything, but particularly feral cats and feral horses, because we have a lot of small mammals and birds that don't have any natural predators, and yeah, they're absolutely decimated by cats and foxes and things. Yeah, the ad block is really funny with how that turned out. They're still trying to do it, but people keep bypassing it. Yeah. 1,000, 19,000. Right, time for another save. Kind of like alcohol in the USA, I guess. If you stop people from making it, people will find ways around the law. Ah, yes. Do not dissolve this brick of dried grapes in a jug of water and then leave it in the cupboard for a few months, because then it will turn into wine, and you don't want that, do you? Yeah, yeah. Well, the terrain looks as normal as ever. Not much in the distance. That would be fun all back. Hmm. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet again. On interesting thoughts, if everyone went vegan, we would be making lots of animals extinct as farmers would not need sheep, cows, pigs, and such as they would not be profitable. Depends on how vegan, yeah. Need sheep for wool, so they'd be okay. Yeah, true. Although vegan, I think, yeah, that raises the question of how vegan. I don't think vegans wear wool. They say in the future they'll be able to like make a lot of meat artificially or something. And honestly, if it's like exactly the same as the real thing, then I probably wouldn't mind personally, but I guess some people would prefer the real deal. Wool's okay as it doesn't harm the sheep. Well, milk doesn't harm the cow if you're doing it right. And vegans still don't drink milk. The dairy industry can be kind of brutal to cows though, so it's better to get milk from a small local dairy that treats their animals right. Weird grey biome we're in. Don't a lot of like soft drinks and stuff have like insect shell extract in them or something for coloring? Yeah, there's like a specific shade of red that's made from insects. Yeah. Is that considered vegan? Hmm. If you're allergic to chocolate, you're more likely allergic to cockroaches, by the way. Uh, I'm still in the middle of watching that one. It takes a while, you know. Should be done this weekend though. That does seem strange. $9 so far is the total acclimation of time for all the runs. That's pretty insane. It's odd though, so I think most kids know that eggs come from chickens. So surprised more didn't say like a farm or something. That seems like pretty common knowledge, even for a kid. Like I said, as I grew up on a farm, my first biology lesson was a cow. I only know that because that is how I grew up. So most kids here grew up in town and cities. You don't get that. In town and cities, you don't get that. You might get a pigeon fly into the stores. That's the most nature they'll see unless they go to a zoo. It depends though. Like when I was a kid, we went to the countryside every now and then for picnics or something, or just to visit the surrounding area. And we got to see cows and sheep and things. Though if you live in a big city that would be harder. Auckland and Wellington. I've been to both of those. They were pretty good. In my opinion, they had a much more green space than the average American city, which I've been to a few of as well. You know what I didn't understand about New Zealand? Your milk bottles. They're not clear. And they're shaped like bleach bottles. I thought that was very strange. Dark blue is regular. Light blue is light. Makes sense. But yeah. Just seems strange to me. Glastonbury's lineup this year looks a bit crap. £355 a ticket. I can't imagine spending that much to. I'm guessing that's a music festival. Climbed over the fence every year. Nice. I don't think I've ever paid to go see something like that. Closest I've come is paying to go to the cinema. And the last time I did that was a year ago now actually. When the Transformers movie came out. The movie ended up being mediocre, by the way. But that's to be expected for a Transformers movie. Let me guess, Taylor Swift will be at Glastonbury's. I wouldn't doubt it. Although she'd probably have her own concert and charge the same amount just for her. IOW has a festival. IOW Festival has a better lineup. That's going on now. Isle of Wight. Ah. Made of chalk disappearing fast. Oh no. That's not good. Penguin says, my sausage and bacon sandwich is nearly ready. And it's not fake stuff. Nice. I've been having scrambled egg and bacon sandwiches more often recently. Don't make scrambled eggs, I always end up burning the pan. The trick to do it is put some butter in there first. That helps. Make them in the microwave, no burning them then. Don't eggs like explode in the microwave? Ours gave up the ghost recently and we had to get a new one. We've got a fancy one with no spinning thing now. Kind of takes the fun out of it. Man, the ground's really flat at the moment. Not looking good for that teen missing in Tenerife. Haven't heard about that. Just Googling it now. Oh wow. That's wild. Pretty sad. Hadn't heard about that. Thank you, penguins. You got your name there now? That'll probably be there for several hours at the very minimum. Bargain for sure. Oh, there's 20,000. Gonna save. Looks like maybe not. Wait, nope, it did. Cool. We'll see if it crashes again. The ground's glitching out once more. Look at that. Ooh, that's wild. What does it look like down here, though? Yeah, still pretty normal, though. Very strange. Very interesting. Oh, a building just disappeared and came back. I think things are starting to get a bit unstable. Wouldn't be surprised if we have another crash soon, actually. What? No, that number's going down. We don't want that going down. Oh, it loops! Look at that! It did loop! We found the edge. if we turn around, it'll probably start decreasing again. Will it? Maybe am I tripping out? Maybe I was moving around wrong. Hmm. More disappearing buildings. Yeah, it's looping. The world is really starting to bug out. Yeah, around here somewhere. It just loops. In fact, I think this is the seam. Maybe? Watch the X value. Yeah, endless world then. So yeah, you could find the road again if you wanted. Things are really getting buggy though. Is that the seam in the world there, maybe? Yeah, it seems like different things load, whether you're on one side or the other. What does it look like when you're here? Oh, nothing really. When you cross it, things start loading differently. Well, that answers that question. When you drive over the loop, well, I just flew over it. Well, fast walked. I think it's just doing the same thing. So on this side, it loads in some buildings and deloads others, you see? And on this side, if we look, it'll glitch that part and then deload some stuff and change the terrain a bit somehow. I think this is the seam here, yeah. It's not visible when you're actually on the ground. But if I cross over it, it seems like it doesn't loop until you get a certain distance away, maybe. But yeah, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so question has been answered. The world loops at the sides. Guess that's it for this stream then. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you to Game of Penguins for the bit. And to everyone else for... And Leopard AK for the subscription. North of 62 for the follow. And Sherbo, yeah, for the follow. So yeah, that answers the question. We've been wanting to know the answer for a while. It loops at the edges. So I guess it's emulating being a sphere. So yeah, in theory, you could drive around the entire world in this game. Pretty wild. It seems like a really abrupt way to end it, but I've got to go make dinner now. So, yeah, that was fun. Bye.